Cameron Brock, I know you're not a man who likes to look at the stat board, but let me know, does it feel good to finally get back into tallying up the goals like you were used to? 9 goals today, by the way.
I mean, kind of. I always tell people that if I'm scoring a lot of goals, I assume that our offense is doing pretty well. Today, that wasn't necessarily the case. We started off kind of bad on offense, but when our offense was playing well, which was in the second half, is when I did most of my scoring. So I guess, in theory, yeah, when I'm scoring out, our offense is usually clicking pretty well. And I think we got kind of lucky tonight. We didn't play very well in the first half. And we didn't play particularly well in the third quarter or anything, but we really turned it on in the fourth quarter, and I don't think we got broken in the fourth quarter. I think that was the key when we came back point. So
now your offense playing without 2 starting handlers, without Cox and without Ace. How different is it playing without, especially Cox, such as a leader on the offense, a calming force with the disc? How different is it for you guys' offense to have to adjust to that?
I think the biggest problem wasn't that Cox wasn't here necessarily. It's just that on those double teams, they were putting some really big guys on there, and sometimes we were having Joey get the disc. And Joey's perfectly capable of handling. I've played with him a lot, and I actually really like playing with him as a handler. But obviously, with his height disadvantage, when those bigger guys are coming to double teams, that kind of threw us off early, I think. And we did a pretty bad job of getting in position where he could get the disc away to someone. So it wasn't like it was all his fault. Like, we weren't positioning ourselves to help him out of those double teams. And even on our taller guys, we were having some trouble. And I think that's where the difference is. Obviously, our handlers are the ones typically getting double teamed, and I think that Cox and Ace are just more used to working out of that double team. And that's something that me and Joey and Keenan and other cutters haven't really had to deal with as much.
Right.
So I think it was more the fact that it was kind of, he was thrust into a new situation than like he's not capable. Like, Joey's perfectly capable of breaking those double teams, and I've seen it.
Right.
But we're not used to that. And I think that was probably a big problem, really. And, Cox can usually find his way through there somehow. I don't know how, but he's like twinkle toes when he's in between the 2 guys. So.
Lastly, it looks like AlleyCats have a chance at the number 2 seed. Probably looking at, if they land it, traveling maybe to DC to face that number 2 Eastern seed. How do you guys feel about facing the East Coast? Teams that you guys have never faced before, you don't know a lot of.
I mean, that's exciting to me. Like, it'll be really interesting because going into playing an East Coast team, I don't know how much film we're going to have, and I don't know how much film they're going to have on us. Like, they can watch our YouTube videos, I guess, or something. But you can only take so much away from film. When you've never seen the people in person, which I haven't seen almost any of those players ever in person, and they haven't seen most of our guys, I think it's going to be one of those things where I believe it'll probably end up pretty high scoring if that happens. Like, whoever ends up in that 2 matchup, I find that favors the offense because the defenders have no idea how to play the guys they're guarding. They've never played them before. They have no clue. I mean, I've had really good success in my career playing teams for the first time.
Right.
And I think that's more due to the fact that defenders don't know what I'm all about than like the fact that I'm like super good or something.
Well, you notice the teams that have played you a lot tend to not let you get behind them on defense. They always kind of soft you up on, with that like free safety spot, and they really watch you close.
Yeah.
And they also cover you under, so you take up a lot of 2 guys on teams that know you, like the Cincinnati team.
I take great pride in that. Like, I love when I draw 2 defenders. I also love when guys play so far deep on me that I get free unders all day, because to me that's just like, anytime I can scare somebody that much to where they're just like not even willing to try to guard me going one direction, then I know I've already won mentally in their heads. Like, I already know that they think that they have no chance of covering me, and so I love seeing that. And I've told people time and time again, I don't care if you're not going to let me go deep. Obviously, I still beat people deep. I did it tonight. I've done it my whole life playing Ultimate. If people play behind you and don't expect you to go deep, that's when I find it's actually the best time to go deep, because they're thinking, no way, this guy's cutting deep. I'm standing 5 yards behind him. Well, as soon as I start cutting in and you try to catch up, I'm gone the other way. So, people can try whatever they want. No one's really found anything that's worked so far. So I guess I'll just keep doing what I do out there.
AlleyCats do it again. Second half team, been like that all season. Friday, since he's coming back to town, hopefully it won't be this close to the game. Fan appreciation night. Cameron Brock will be here. All of the AlleyCats will be here, ready to show up for the best fans in all of Baltimore. We'll see you Friday, guys.